Buonasera, buonasera, buonasera. Bentornati su Genshin. Non cadere qui. Su Genshin Impact. È passata tipo una settimana dall'ultima volta che ho messo piede su questo gioco in streaming. E devo essere onesto, un po' di cose me le ricordo ancora, nonostante sia passata una settimana, il che è abbastanza strano per i miei standard. Di solito mi dimentico tutto molto velocemente, ma gli avvenimenti di questa parte dell'Arc Conquest mi sono rimasti particolarmente impressi, probabilmente perché sono ben scritti, sono interessanti e scorrono relativamente bene. Sono genuinamente curioso di sapere un po' come vuole procedere. Se non ricordo male, noi abbiamo scoperto che Child era scappato da questa parte, no? C'era tipo un buco da qualche parte. Dove devo andare? Cosa cazzo? Ah, vabbè, perché io ero dentro la cosa per il gioco, ok, chiaro. Porca puttana! Non potevo fermarmi. Ok, quindi devo fare attenzione a non farmi sgamare. Come faccio a non farmi sgamare? Ok, che faccio? Ma cosa devo fare? Lo ammazzo? Aspetto che sparisca? Forse vado di qua. Ho capito. Di qua non ce ne sono. Faccio il giro. No? Faccio il giro, ignoro le guardie. Big brain time, no? Tanto comunque arrivo lì. No? Pezzi di merda, dai. Ma perché mi devi far fare sta cosa? È un cerchio. Ma che cazzo fai? Ma cosa ti viene in mente? Ma piuttosto mettimi una guardia qua. No? Mettimi una guardia qua, in modo che io dico, ah ok, da questa parte non posso andare di sicuro. Perché mi devi far fare il giro dalle guardie quando posso fare il giro a cerchio? Che senso? Ah, vabbè. Devo andare da sotto. Ma scusa, mi stai dicendo che se gli passo dietro non mi sente? Ma se gli passo così davanti, no? Allora, ok che non è un gioco stealth. Va bene. Va bene. Però le cose fatte col culo sono comunque cose fatte col culo. Dai. Dai. Onesti. È una roba un po' fatta col culo. Potevo tranquillamente fare il giro e arrivare comunque allo stesso punto. È un cazzo di cerchio. Vabbè. Vabbè.
You've got guts showing up here. You know who we are, right?
You'd better leave now. Ain't nobody coming here to save you.
Cosa volete? Non ho capito. Che were started with you, weren't they?
Yeah.
Ah, ok, sono loro che hanno fatto partire tutte queste speculazioni.
We can make those rumors a reality at any time.
Ah.
What's the point of all those rumors anyway? What exactly are you trying to do?
Esatto, perché hanno fatto sta roba?
I don't have to tell you anything. If you turn around, go back to the dormitories and act like you never saw anything, then I'll pretend that you never showed up here.
Yeah, scrap.
Altrimenti?
Nothing worth
Fuori.
seeing here.
There's something calling me, I have to go.
Huh?
Ah, sono le parole di
What did you
Child. Ok, gli stiamo facendo capire che lo conosciamo. Ok.
Hey, do you know our boss?
È uno dei fatui Harbingers di Snaya.
Oh, we had no idea our boss was such a big deal. He always kept his identity a secret. So, did he have you come here to find us?
Oh, so your child's crew here? Seems like he had no problem fitting in.
In effetti un po' cioè lui si è fatto una crew qua dentro senza conoscerli prima? Oppure sono entrati insieme a lui o dopo di lui già conoscendolo precedentemente? Vorremmo capire cosa gli è successo,
We're
sì.
the only ones who heard him say those words when he left that night. So unless he somehow told you those exact same words after that... All right. I guess that's proof enough for me. I believe you.
Ok, nice.
Those dreams of yours sure come in handy.
T'hai viste, Paimon?
We gave him the business for a while and would always give him a hard time when he first came to the fortress of Maripede.
Ma poi,
Here
ok,
in the
quindi...
fortress, The strong will always earn respect.
Sono diventati
He was
amichetti qua
working the
dentro, ok.
longest hours and racking up wins in the Pancration ring. You could always see how amazing he was, even when he was teaching us a lesson. So eventually, we all decided to follow him.
Ha senso.
But one day, he suddenly told us that he had to find a way to escape this place, no matter the cost. He said it was because he heard that call again.
Quale call?
And as his crew, if the boss wants something, then it's our job to get it done. So, we got to work and used the hidden rules that were here to make up and spread the rumor about the cannibal rule. We just wanted to give him a better chance of escaping on a night after the pipes had been cleaned.
Oh, thanks to your rumor, nobody would want to come anywhere near here, prisoner or guard. Wow, it sure is easy to exploit people's fear of the unknown.
Mi sembra assurdo che persino le guardie si siano cagate sotto, dai.
Why are you
Non
all
ha
still coming
senso.
here after pipe cleaning day?
Because as far as we know, the pipe he went into isn't actually an exit. It should be a dead end. It leads
Ok.
to an abandoned factory area, and even if there were a way to escape from there into the sea, we're still way too deep. No one could ever reach the surface alive. But Boss still insisted on going in. It's like he was obsessed about it. So we told him that we'd pretend as if he never existed while he was gone,
Ok.
and that if he wanted to come back, he should wait for nighttime on a pipe cleaning day. That way, we could meet him here and help cover the whole thing up.
Ok.
So you come and wait here through the night a few times a month just because of that promise?
Già.
Yeah,
Dedizione, Paimon.
It's been so
Dedizione
long
verso
now.
il proprio boss.
we already know in our hearts that he must have managed to escape somehow.
Is it also possible that something unfortunate happened to him?
Nothing could ever defeat Boss or slow him down. It's one
Tranne
thing
me,
we know for sure.
chiaramente.
Okay. Paimon was just brainstorming possibilities.
Ok, sì, dobbiamo andare anche noi.
Alright. Keep quiet and follow us.
E se fossi venuto qui prima? Cosa sarebbe successo? Qualcuno mi avrebbe bloccato? Mi avrebbe fermato?
The way up from here has been sealed off. It's impossible to get through. Boss left by going down from here. It wasn't full of water at the time. Later, we came back hoping to have a look. That's when we found out it had been completely flooded. It's impossible to navigate unless you're an extremely skilled diver.
Do you think Child got trapped by the water?
Not likely. We all know that Boss was an incredible swimmer.
Ah sì? I know a good diver.
Really? Then have him come investigate.
Ah,
Pronto.
giusto, sì, c'è anche
Just be sure to
coso.
tell us if you get any news about Boss.
L'amico
It's getting
di
late. We should leave before the guards come this way.
Linette,
Yeah, we learned a lot about what happened to Child
Linny.
here. Let's get going.
Ok, sì. Adesso abbiamo bene o male un'idea di cosa sia successo. Lui è arrivato qui e ha iniziato a farsi strada fra i rank dei vari sguatteri. È diventato il boss di questi tre tizi e poi ha cercato di scappare da quella zona.
Seems all of our investigative work is finally
Ebbene
starting
sì.
to pay off.
Ebbene
When
sì.
you said you knew a diver, you were talking about
Esatto, Fremine.
right? If we ask Linny, he'll definitely have Fremine help us.
Ma in realtà potremmo farlo anche noi, no?
Why is Child like this? What was he doing going into the pipes? Not making our jobs easier, that's for sure.
Vero.
Fortunately, though, it seems like it's only a matter of time now before we find out what really happened.
Eh sì, ormai non
Now that
dovrebbe
we can
mancare
finally
molto.
relax,
Manca solo
I'm
l'ultimo
starting
pezzo
to
del
feel
puzzle.
super sleepy. Let's try to get some rest while we still can. Nighty night, traveler.
Ciao Paimon, buonanotte. Quest completed, to be continued. Wait. È finita così? Ah no,
It's
ok.
morning already. Oh, Paimon still needs more
Ok, no.
sleep.
Oddio. Mi è venuto un colpo, ho iniziato lo stream per 10 minuti di storia, no? Ti prego. Season coupons, skipper share. Sì, però c'è una carta.
Wait, look over there.
Esatto, c'è una calling
Isn't it?
card. Paravara, paravara, para, paravara, paravara.
What Paimon's
vediamo che
name
dice.
is written on it? Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day.
Ah, però.
Everyone has the day off today, which makes it the perfect time to do some investigating. It's
Yes.
been a while since we last talked. Have you been making any progress lately? Let's meet at our usual spot in the factory area before lunchtime. I have new information.
Ok, so do we.
Today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Lenny has been making progress with his investigation. Wonder what he's discovered. We still have some time before we meet up. Let's talk with the people here for a bit more before we go.
Ok, quindi è iniziata una nuova parte dell'Archon Quest. Ok. Wow, non me l'aspettavo. Ero convinto che sarebbe terminata a breve, invece è terminata molto prima del previsto, ma ne è iniziata un'altra. Quindi, ok. Weird. Allora, da questo lato c'è qualcuno? Mi sa di no, quindi io faccio così. E vado. Sono tutti su questo piano.
There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
Andiamo, andiamo.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
Che senso?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
Che strano modo di comportarsi, non tanto da parte loro quanto dagli altri due. Ci hanno guardato un po'
You hear that,
storto.
Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I
Sempre,
right?
sempre
But
questo.
before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Ah sì?
Really? Are we that famous?
E cosa sai di noi?
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
Ah, His Grace sarebbe il tizio che c'aveva il capo del gruppone che ci aveva scortato il primo giorno, ok.
A little mistake,
Pensavo fossimo
huh?
diventati
I
famosi
like the way you
davvero,
put it.
invece...
You see, people with a good
pensavo stessi
attitude
chiamando
can
noi
join
His
our group
Grace.
anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros. But
Bombshell
don't worry,
Bros.
we're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No, you don't get it. Knowing
Fine, we'll
intelligence
lie.
will make things better for you here.
Better.
For example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that?
Sì, dici
Whoa,
tutto.
all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
I don't
Scazzottata?
mind him. Quisto's always
Scazzottata?
this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego.
Ah, ok,
The
perfetto.
welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
We ate the most incredible welfare meals recently.
Right. That meal we had yesterday
Ah, perché
was
lui è tipo il
super
cuoco?
delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she closes her eyes.
È tipo il cuoco lui.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've
Eccoci
been working
qua.
as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But enough
Incredibile.
about that. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress.
Vai, spara. Just wicked me, since don't be upset, he's a good fellow. Va bene. Vabbè, c'era manco bisogno di questa linea, ok?
Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them.
Funziona così un
You've already
po'
met
in
the one
tutte le
person here you
carceri.
should never cross. The Duke, Risley? He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
Ah, sì?
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right?
Jurier?
I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Is it normal for anyone to be going in and out of there so often? If you ask me, he's just faking it to get out of work.
But did you know that Jurier was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute before he came here? There's no denying that.
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else.
C'è sempre qualcuno un po' più uguale degli altri, eh? Quindi questo person named Jurier frequents the infirmary. Take note of that. Ok, sì, dobbiamo andare a vedere nell'infermeria perché c'è sempre questo Jurier.
Speaking of which,
Magari un
the last
ricercatore
time I
medico
saw
sta
him, he was passing by the
aiutando la
corridor
tipa.
of Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a fight, right?
Oh.
Guess that's just how terrible of a guy he is.
You mean he hit a woman?
Wow.
Wow. I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a fight with a man, and she also got sent to the infirmary. Come to think of it, I always see her going to the sick bay every couple of days too.
Ok. Weird.
Wait a second. You don't think?
È tutto
Do
programmato.
you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on dates?
Ah, oddio, potrebbe anche essere
but
questo,
it's
sì.
really hard to imagine.
Ma e
After
fanno
all, I
scazzottate.
do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jurier to a pulp that one time.
Infatti,
And
si
we
sono
might
menati.
be overthinking things.
magari è scoccato la scintilla proprio durante la scazzottata. Remember that too. Ok. O magari entrambi sono innamorati della tipa dell'infermeria e quindi hanno scazzottato per quello ed è per quello che ci vanno spesso.
Look, there are some people talking over there. Let's listen in on the conversation.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
È il primo dei cani.
Oh, you think you're
È
special or
letteralmente il primo dei
something?
cani.
If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind
Okay.
of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I
Okay.
have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole with talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Not bad if you ask me.
E infatti.
Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you? It's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so confident.
Parli un sacco strano per essere uno che ha un sacco di chili di muscoli in meno rispetto a quell'altro, eh.
Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say?
Beh sì, perché appunto come dicevano prima quelli dell'Overworld non pensano neanche a questo posto, cioè per loro non esiste, un po' come per noi le carceri, raramente la gente parla di quelli in carcere, a meno che non conosca qualcuno, non ci lavori, no?
That's true.
Time to go.
Time to go.
Hey, you over there?
Io? Che non so...
Yeah, you.
You?
Say, do you like playing card games?
No,
You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
per un cazzo.
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Non
Hey,
pensavo che
come
avesse trovato
on. What's wrong with
qualcuno
finding
interessato
fellow
al
invocation
TCG.
aficionados? Anyway, care to join me for a game?
Guarda, come se avessimo,
alright.
eh.
No
Come se avessimo
pressure.
accettato.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? It's all the same in my eyes. There are
Ok,
lots of card players here in the fortress.
Va
When I
bene.
saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So I came over to say hi.
ok, vuoi fare due chiacchiere con noi?
Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right?
Vero.
Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers some stories about this place.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you want me to just pick a topic?
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
Ok,
All right.
ottima
Have
scelta,
you heard any
Paimon.
strange rumors since you've arrived?
Anche troppi.
And did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping over in the corner?
Sì, ci abbiamo parlato 5 minuti fa.
Yes, so you've already met those two. They're quite a pair. They always keep an eye out for the latest happenings and gossip about everything. I've never seen anyone with more time on their hands. I
Addirittura.
heard that they used to be a chef and a bartender before they were sent down here. You know how bartenders are, always chatting with customers. And chefs love to pass the time just hanging out when they're not cooking.
Va bene, sti stereotipi a
Do
caso.
you have
Vabbè.
anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something a little more tantalizing.
Sì, qualcosa di frizzantello, grazie, Bavigli.
Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the fortress of Meripede before?
Scusami,
Wait, are you serious?
hai le prove?
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to become the warden, though?
No, infatti è un
Go
po'
from
strana
an
come
ordinary
cosa, eh.
inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of respect that.
Sai niente della Forbidden Zone?
Forbidden Zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of that. Where did you hear about it?
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me first, though.
Okay, we've talked to just about
Quindi il
everyone.
Duca era
and it's
uno
about time for us to
dei...
go meet Linny.
Wow,
According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
che storia. Attenzione, attenzione, vediamo se sono ancora capace. Speedrun strat! Incredibile. Il Duca era un inmate e in qualche modo ha raggiunto il rango di gestore di tutta la baracca. Magari era inmate tipo per qualche ragione stupida e poi è stata provata la sua innocenza. Però lui ha detto no, guarda, mi trovo bene qui, continuo a fare il gestore. Oh. Effettivamente non sappiamo nulla di lui, cioè non sappiamo nulla di un cazzo di nessuno, noi, di base. Però su di lui sappiamo spaventosamente poco. Ma che giro mi stai facendo fare, scusami? The fuck? Ah, ok, è tipo una cosa intermedia qua. Va bene, chiaro.
Huh?
Salve.
That look in your eyes. You found something?
Nah. Forse
Hey,
qualcosa.
it's no time to be modest. Just tell him we load of information.
Paimon, non scoprire subito le tue carte,
As
cazzo.
expected of the legendary duo,
Mannaggia
you
a
have my
te.
full and undivided attention.
Paimon, sei un pollo.
I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for.
Di certo non è un pollo, ecco.
Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his disappearance.
Dobbiamo trovarlo,
His
fondamentalmente.
escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up
Ma
to the
Fremine?
task.
Dove cazzo sta?
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today.
Siamo
Coming
qui da un
here as a
pezzo, non
group
l'abbiamo mai
would have
visto.
attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later.
Ok, va bene, grazie,
No
ciao.
need to thank me. This was always a part of our mission after all. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Risley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Certo, parliamo per mesi con la gente.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if
Lo
he's
chiama
to do
Master
that,
Child
he'll have to
perché
set
è
out on the
un
next pipe cleaning day
harbinger?
at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
Infatti, come cazzo
We've
fai?
been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hands.
Sì, però non sai la strada, cioè non sai
What
quanto
say you to meeting
dista
here
il posto
9
in cui devi
days from
andare.
now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're
Fra
at it
9
too.
giorni?
Oh, and there's
Okay.
just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we
Okay.
still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone.
Ok.
Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission. So, you are the only ones we can count on.
What do you want us to do? Will it be hard?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it off. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the room and environs. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover.
Ok.
You've already met the head nurse, so she'll be less suspicious of you.
Va bene.
Investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else you're able to discover. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first.
Va bene, ci provo.
My apologies. I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger sister.
But that's not a bad thing, right?
Non per sé.
All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish our prep.
Let's
Dai.
go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days. Stay safe.
Ciao Lini. Tutto questo adesso sta iniziando un po' ad annoiarmi, tutta questa storia. Nel senso che siamo sempre nella stessa zona, parliamo sempre con le stesse persone. Non
Stay
è che
here
ci
for
sia
now. Come we'll take a
particolarmente
peek.
nulla di intrattenente in tutto questo.
There seem to be several people inside.
Diamo un'occhiata. Just read the people inside the infirmary. So here appearing in game, you can manage to catch me.
It's not impossible.
Oh?
It's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't we just try to talk to them in person? Let's go as soon as you're ready.
Andiamo. Vabbè, bla bla bla. Ah, ok, sta facendo cioè sta davvero ingerendo. Hanno usato qualcosa per stare male? C'era davvero bisogno?
Please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do.
Bravissima
Freezing
Paimon,
limbs,
cazzo.
twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Could it be poison?
Addirittura avvelenata.
Let me take a look. Please lie down over here.
Ah,
Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
patatina.
You can do it, traveler. Don't
Madonna.
apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you.
She's a few instruments and began to hold the door shut so she gets suspicious. Okay.
I see now. My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst fear out of the
Vabbè,
way.
che poi quando devi entrare devi avere il mal di testa, cioè nel
Oh,
senso
that's
che...
good.
Voglio dire...
I'll
Poi?
continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Please relax and take a deep breath.
Bene. Poi di freddo, my abdomen, mental energy too, her expression is growing more and more relaxed. Okay.
Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. Does it hurt when I press here?
Ah, yeah.
And here?
Ah!
But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be
Oh,
a
fuck.
problem here.
Oh fuck.
How strange.
Te l'ho detto, dovevi dire che ti faceva male la testa, quello non può fare nulla. Se dici mal di stomaco te lo può toccare, con la testa non può.
What about here? Does this hurt?
No.
Oh. I understand. So that's what it is. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all.
Ah, okay.
Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious.
Ciao.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Wolsey, of this problem as soon as possible.
Sarà meglio.
Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine for you?
Certo, che
Miss
scherzi,
Levine,
che volentieri.
I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
E quindi vedi, sia l'Orvin che l'altro
She hopped away, just
tizio
like that.
sono qui a chiacchierare amabilmente. So we left in the room. Sì, ci sono solo due persone. She killed one of the Orvins. She's one of those friendly... Oh, sì, va bene. E lui è il giuria.
So how are you feeling now?
Beh, dai, tutto sommato non male. Can you say I'll draw unwanted attention? The guy also seemed to have noticed. Now I'm looking at my addiction too.
Her stomachache's really bad. She's stumbling about the whole way here, so Paimon's really worried.
Carina.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the best medic we've got down here.
Bene.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down
Ok,
here.
sì, in effetti è un po' preoccupante questa cosa.
Ah, well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is useless, you know?
Ma non ha
Though
detto
they may have
questo.
committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Ma non ha detto
Yeah,
questo.
yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
No, una paziente pure lei?
Ah, that's correct. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself.
Are you two also sick?
Brava Paimon, dritta al
We've
punto.
been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her, you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now, please.
Ok.
Keep it civil at least.
Che strano modo di dire che ti piace. At the same time. Siamo sicuri? So there's nothing suspicious inside the room. Che ci creo. Ok, sì, c'è una box. Dobbiamo fare attenzione a quella box. There's one free on the wall. Oh, there's a movable hutch on the ground. C'è tipo una.
There's no need to fight. Everyone will be released someday, so there's no need
C'è
to
tipo una
argue over
botola.
silly things like this.
Ok.
But
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
Presence of a movable latch is strange by several purposes. My adventure is always what is it? A bit strange there's a movable latch here of all places. Abbastanza, sì. E soprattutto coperta da varie scatole. Nascosta da varie scatole, quindi.
please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face
abbiamo
here again
capito. Abbiamo capito,
anytime
dai.
soon.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
Sì, sì.
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need
Weird
to keep
research
dwelling on
topics tipo?
I'll accompany you two for a
Faccio un
while.
esempio.
Miss Seashween should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine.
Grazie per esserti preso cura di me.
It's nothing.
I'm back.
Eccoci qua.
Did you rest like you promised?
Che poi lei dove le
Thank
prende
you
le
for getting her
medicine?
medicine, Miss Seashween.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good.
Piccoli.
Here, this should be 2 days worth of medicine for you. Take one pill now, and then continue your bed rest.
Ok.
Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember. You said it should be yellow.
You talked about that before work, didn't you? Why don't I remember?
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon too.
C'è anche da dire che noi non abbiamo idea di cosa stessero parlando. Abbiamo sentito davvero due parole in croce, quindi era anche difficile capire il contesto e qualsiasi cosa si stessero dicendo.
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right?
Sì.
I just want to double check a few details, if that's all right with you. Those two
Vai.
made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead.
Carina.
So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain, with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it. All right then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds? No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods. And don't stay up too late at night. Got it. Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure.
Bene. Sidrian's still looking at me. I should just try to take an apps like she said.
You're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get some rest.
We're so better relaxingly. The words we're working with the girl. So you can always still catch some hints of Paimon's conversation with Sidwin.
We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather she's actually super strong.
Dai, non fatti i cazzi tuoi. Non dirle
You're the
tutto.
best of companions. But don't worry, she'll recover soon.
Non sappiamo se effettivamente lei...
You're awake.
Hey, you're finally
How do
awake.
you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left.
No, sto molto meglio, grazie.
Now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly, and remember bland foods. Thank you, Miss Sijuin.
Grazie, Miss Edwin. Quindi, abbiamo qualche info in più adesso, sembrerebbe. Sappiamo che... vaffanculo. Sappiamo che dobbiamo tornare qua. Prima o poi. E scoprire cosa c'è dentro la botola e dentro il cassone. Rieccoci in cameretta. Io mi sto addormentando comunque perché è davvero lento il pacing a sto punto. Ho detto qualcosa che non avrei dovuto?
No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now. Paimon talked with Sijuin the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary?
È l'unica roba che abbiamo in mano. There's several things weird about the place. The more watch on the ground, as well the questions Sijuin asked Lurvin, also were they really talking about their meds before we walked in? Was Lurvin in general, or were they just putting on a show? Ascolta, Paimon, secondo me...
You really are super thorough. All those tiny little
Secondo
suspicious
me
things that Paimon didn't even
c'è
pick up
qualcosa
on.
sotto,
We've gotta give the info to Linny.
I was reading Paimon work at a station around the other ship, they already managed to find a particularly right keyword relating to a suspicion on a piece of paper. Ok. Managed to pass asleep to a busy Lynette as she happens to pass by. Your disguise is impeccable and she does not even look at you or change her expression as she pockets the info. Ok. Finally the promised 9th day arrives. Ok. Che ne? Di Child. Avremo delle risposte finalmente.
Let's go meet up with Linny.
Vediamo un po'. Minchia, se non stiamo facendo altro che parlare da 6 ore però, eh? Oh! Che faccia è, Paimon?
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No.
No,
Tutto
we just
tranquillo.
worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait,
ok.
why is she getting involved as well?
Beh,
You
non è
already
ovvio,
went
parte del
above
suo
and
team.
beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you did in exchange for Fremine's help, you've already done more than enough. Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given
Ha
person.
molto senso quello che
Lynette
dice
also
Lenny.
felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
Ok.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Sì.
Perhaps that's true. You're both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's still one thing that could get between us, lest you've forgotten. The matter of our respective loyalties.
Già.
You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that feeling, so I assume you're just helping us out of the kindness of your hearts?
Well, everyone could use some more friends.
Diciamo che abbiamo qualcosa da guadagnarci pure noi.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine and Lynette feel the same way.
Ok.
Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her investigation right about now.
Dai.
Is now really a good time to go over?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch.
Vero, vero.
Lynette knows this as well,
Ne abbiamo la
so this
conferma in
should be a
prima
good
persona.
time to meet up with her. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his younger sister's well-being.
Beh, sì, in effetti è vero. Ha senso. E anche noi siamo suoi amichetti, quindi dai, andiamo a fare visita a Lynette. Lynette, t'à posto? Com'è? Stai bene?
Lynette should be here right now.
Shoot.
Huh.
È nella botola?
Strange. Lynette?
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
Forse ha trovato un
No,
indizio e si è
Lynette
andato
rarely
a
deviates
seguirlo.
from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make changes on the fly, she'd find a way to let me know.
Ok.
Unless...
Non sia stata portata via contro la
Let's see if
sua
there are any
volontà.
clues around here. We can look while we wait for her. Who knows? Maybe she'll be back soon.
Okay.
Facciamo un check.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like medical records. Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide to the psychology of emotions,
Non male.
and the meaning of laughter.
Che cose carine
These sure
da
are some
studiare.
interesting books. Who knew Sigewinne would be interested in these kinds of things? She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings. Is it because she's a Melusine? Or does she have a need to understand her patient's emotional state?
Forse entrambe le cose?
Seems quite normal to me. These are skills that would come in handy for a nurse from time to time.
Decisamente sì. Niente di strano. Qui avrò lasciato una Io l'avrei lasciata tipo
None of
sotto
the
il
beds have
cuscino.
any signs of having been slept in. Except that one over there.
That's the one
Ah,
Lynette
sì?
must have used, right?
A me sembrano
You
tutti e
said
tre
she was
identici.
pretending to be sick.
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking,
Una sveglia
the
che
head
usa il
nurse would then
cervello.
ask her to lie down and rest while she left
Che
to
dice che gli
retrieve
fa
the
male la
medication.
testa e non lo stomaco. Still unmade.
Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the nurse intentionally left it this way.
Che significa? Lui non la sta prendendo bene sta storia, eh? È il momento.
Ah, this is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well.
Per niente. È la prima cosa che abbiamo notato, tipo. Is that a close to the mobile action? Start stopping it.
The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. There's probably a mechanism around here somewhere. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted me for sure.
Forse non è andata di sua spontanea volontà. E questo è il punto, Linnea.
Let's look around here for some more clues. Don't panic, just take another look.
Sta parlando con noi o sta parlando con se stesso? Esatto.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper over here!
A slip of paper.
Che c'è
It's right
scritto?
over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You may consider this as me giving you my best regards.
This is...
Is that all?
C'è qualcos'altro?
This is...
Show me, now!
Che succede?
That look on your face. Paimon's reading it now. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now?
L'hanno rapita.
No. Could she have... Is she already...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use his
Wriothesley?
fate?
Wait.
Ma perché avrebbe
you mean
dovuto?
He was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Infatti perché avrebbe dovuto aspettare il secondo tentativo?
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though.
E perché è andato dietro solo a Lynette? Cioè, la questione è questa. Perché aspettare che tu cercassi di infiltrarti? È il boss in questa prigione, quindi avrebbe potuto in qualsiasi momento mandare delle guardie a raccattarvi senza che voi sapeste nulla, vi avrebbe portato davanti a lui e avrebbe fatto quello che avrebbe dovuto. Cioè, non ha molto senso tutta questa cosa.
Why did he only go after her?
Ma più che altro perché non l'ha fatto prima?
Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is not like what happened last time. The situation's different now.
Ok.
Wait, you're right. Wait, but that means...
C'è un third party, no?
The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him go as well?
Ma...
What does he gain by letting Fremine leave like that?
I get it now, dimmi. Voglio capire anche io. They made them both disappear. Ma a che scopo?
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of it.
Ok, se è una challenge, cioè se è una sfida, allora forse potrebbe avere
We never should have sent
senso.
out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side.
Vabbè.
If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down.
Calmati.
Don't be like
Placati.
this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and
Ma da
I'm the
quando?
one responsible for this team.
Ma chi sta di?
I was the one who failed to protect them.
Ah, forse è lato vostro. Sei il
I'll go
leader.
talk to Wriothesley.
Hey, don't
Ma se non fosse stato lui?
Traveler, please talk some sense into him.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have
Again?
to go. I'll find a way to get them back.
È già successo una volta? Ah, forse sì, mi ricordo nella vecchia storia di come loro hanno incontrato il father. Sigewin?
Right. I feel like we still
Attenzione.
have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Then please be mindful of the time.
Ha pianificato tutto lei?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! She's sick!
Quindi la medicina che ci ha dato era per cancellare la memoria, tipo? O cose del genere?
As expected, they've already found this place. Oh, they are quite sharp. What a delightful
O era un
turn of
semplice
events.
placebo?
I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. I like the feeling of being trusted. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin.
Sigewin è uno stronzo.
Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill. Wait!
Cazzo.
It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Sigewin mi piaceva.
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Che palle. Mancava un po' un personaggio. Mancava il personaggio bipolare. Cosa che, a giudicare dal cuoricione che c'ha al fianco, che indica cuore spezzato, cuore intero, sembra un po' raccontare questa storia. Però mi manca il personaggio super carino e pucciosino. Cioè, da un bel po' che non se ne vedono. Era tipo da Barbara. Comunque da tantissimo che non si vede. Si vede da tipo Sayu. Sayu, Klee. Questa gente qui.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Sono in combutta?
Aren't we at an administrative office space?
Ah no, che lui non sa
Why
un
don't you
cazzo.
at least try to follow even a couple rules from the fortress's indoor management regulations?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from another place altogether. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No. He's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and he's even in the mood for small talk. That means Lynette is probably still alive.
In base a cosa hai assunto questa cosa?
So you deliberately aroused
Chi
the
t'ha detto che è
traveler's
ancora
suspicions
viva?
and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to kidnap Lynette.
Ma perché fare sta
As for
cosa?
Fremine,
Potevi farlo prima.
you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted into your ranks.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite easy to identify your colleagues.
Ah, sì?
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need hostages?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you really want?
Prima dovresti chiedere che fine ha fatto. Che fine ha fatto Fremine.
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating with me.
Dove stanno quei due?
Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's finest tea. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So, where do you think he may be right now?
Wait,
Morto.
you can't mean
Sul fondo
you
dell'oceano.
locked him outside in the sea?
Eccolo là.
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That's all.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
Vabbè, a una certa se ne deve andare per forza. Cioè, o muore o se ne va. No?
To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to negotiating.
Avrebbe potuto imbastire tutto questo circo imbarazzante in cui ha rapito sua sorella, ha chiuso fuori il suo amico, ha fatto tutto il bordello di Child, per settimane di organizzazione, oppure semplicemente poteva prendere 10 guardie, andare ai dormitori, dire a tutti quanti fuori dai coglioni e parlare direttamente con Linney. Butto lì. Tempo stimato mezz'ora, 40 minuti se devi proprio organizzare il tutto con tutte le guardie e se il suo dormitorio sta lontano. Cioè, non ha molto senso questa cosa. avrebbe senso se lui fosse un altro... non lo so, un altro carcerato come tutti gli altri, ok? Che deve organizzarsi, deve pianificare, deve fare in modo che le guardie non lo sgamino, deve fare in modo che tutto sia accuratamente pianificato per avere un modo di discutere con lui in privato, per non essere sgamato, per non essere interrotto. Cioè, quello avrebbe senso. Ma se tu sei il boss di tutto il circo, ma chi te lo fa fare di imbastire tutta sta frignaccia? Ma chi te lo fa fare? Non ha senso, zero totale.
Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity. Well, you got your wish.
C'è da capire qual è il suo endgame adesso.
You've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I will be straight with you. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of that changed. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremenet is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there forever. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of tea with me.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Ma è quello che voleva lei
If she
dall'inizio.
cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' evening.
Ma è quello che aveva richiesto lei sin dall'inizio. Cioè, Father voleva entrare qui dentro. E lui voleva parlare con lei. E lei voleva parlare con lui. Quindi, cioè, perché tutto sto bordello? Qual è la logica? Perché non vogliono farlo sapere a Neuvillette e la tipa là, come cazzo di Furina? Ma comunque lo verranno a sapere. Cioè, cosa cambia adesso che l'ha preso in ostaggio? Perché può fare contatto diretto? Boh, mi sembra tutto così caoticamente
I've heard that the
assurdo.
bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see why she would refuse.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in person.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to sharing it with her. Both Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina have already received many samples as gifts.
E se stesse cercando di assassinarli tutti?
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to blackmail her.
Non farò entrare nessuno, mi spiace.
With. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest in the fortress's secret? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Che fai?
Linny!
Non è che tu abbia molte opzioni, Linny. Ma infatti perché hai fatto tutto sto bordello?
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, the Fatui has been actively infiltrating my fortress.
Ok, va bene.
I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk.
Ok,
Mr. Fremenet left
e rimandarne
the
indietro
fortress on his
uno?
own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look at it, the responsibility for this falls on you.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
Vabbè,
6, 5.
Stai contando da cosa? Da 10, da 15, da 20? E come cazzo conti?
Time's up. It really is a shame, Mr. Linney.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my afternoon tea.
Please wait, can we really not talk about this some more?
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linny, can you at least talk to us?
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own set of laws.
Però abbiamo bisogno di sapere qualcosa su Child, e tu sai qualcosa su Child, no? Io vorrei focusarmi un attimo su quello, però vabbè, cerchiamo di salvare anche gli altri due stronzi.
Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found, hmm? I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request.
Oh, fuck.
Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days in a row?
Communicating about the hidden rules. If I recall correctly, if you keep working without any rest, you're not sure. If I were a strange meet... sì. E quindi? It's a good thing that we already run through investigation of this. Let's see if I can remember all the clues. I should be able to find an answer if I can... together. If you break... If you... Okay. Sì.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch.
No.
The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons.
No.
We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners.
Non ha niente a che
Fonta's
vedere.
internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has to undergo a trial because even Fonta's own employees have a lot of
Non
The
credo.
research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently.
No.
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it.
Ok, you were familiar. Some strange meat. Boh, questa roba della
Fonta's internal
fonta?
report-
È l'unica cosa sensata?
Fonta's internal reports suggest
Ui,
that they're
sì,
starting a
che
new
poi-
trial of an unnamed and
No, ma che cazzo vuol dire chi vedrai se continui a lavorare di continuo? Ah, forse
The
lei...
infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near their production zone.
Ok, quindi se lavori troppo vedi lei. Ok. Thus the strange meat appears...
The Fonta promoter has been struggling.
Questo non ho
According to
idea.
Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. Because of that, the Melusines have also developed a sense of aesthetics that appear
Ah,
rather
vuoi vedere che
strange
la
and alien
strana
to
carne è la roba che faceva lei? Cioè, tipo, lei vedeva qualcuno lavorare troppo e quindi gli dava questa carne per qualche motivo? O per farlo stare meglio, o per farlo stare peggio? O trattarla come una cavia?
Fonta's
Boh.
internal reports suggest that the research note said that the
Where the strange meat appear? Ok, no, quindi questo è il terzo.
The research note said that the
Scusa, questo qua e questo. E questo qua?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could Sijuin be
Ok, perché lei lo fa a pranzo. Ok. Quindi lei sparisce per mezz'ora perché prepara il pranzo per le persone che lavorano troppo. Solo che gli riesce male perché la vede strano. Ah, interessante, non ci sarei mai arrivato senza sto minigioco.
The hidden rule of the production zone.
Oh no, è tornata su Spymon.
If they do, they'll get strange meat in their welfare meal. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head nurse. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3 full days of work. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish for those who can use the stamina boost. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out about what she does. However, unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and their sense of Onyx is even more alien to us. The recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care within and usually just freak out. Are we on the right track?
Ci abbiamo azzeccato.
Not bad. You've uncovered Sigewin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone unacknowledged.
Carino.
All right, now for my next question.
Vai.
There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration Ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
Il perché
Why
non mi
is
è
that?
chiaro. The precaution ring, remember, if someone tries to support both boxers at the end, they receive a package the next morning which contains a strange blood-colored liquid. We also have a lot of research on these matters. Let me see if there what I've... Ah, perché dicono c'è uno così scemo da bettare su entrambi i tizi, potrebbe piacergli sta bevanda. È questo sicuro. Send the package,
The Fonta
Fonta.
promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons.
E questo qua, Fonta.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new...
Questo. Why does it look the way it does?
According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it.
Allora, questo sarà il
Fonta's internal
Q.
reports suggest that...
No? Why?
Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because...
Why do only those... È questo qua, sicuro. Quindi questo sarà questo qua.
Fonta's internal reports...
Giusto? Yes. Ok.
Paimon gets this rule too now. So there really
Che cosa
was nothing to be
assurdamente
afraid of.
scema e così geniale allo stesso tempo. Questa parte mi sta piacendo. Questa parte mi sta genuinamente piacendo.
People are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a package containing a strange blood-colored liquid. People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fonta trial product. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fonta's own staff were questioning the company's
In
decision.
effetti non è proprio un'idea geniale, eh?
Facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product on a smaller scale to see how it might be received
Mi
by
piace perché i suoi capelli formano le orecchie, formano tipo delle orecchie.
and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke completely refused to even entertain the idea. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress,
A meno che non siano davvero
knew that
orecchie.
only total idiots who didn't understand their true value would bother buying a Fonta product here. And so, only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
Brava poi.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light.
T'hai visto? Siamo forti,
Although,
eh?
based on your
No, ok, non
description,
sono
that
orecchie.
Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final
Interessante.
question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Infatti su questo non lo sappiamo ancora un cazzo.
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and Fremine never even crossed your mind.
Stai calmo però.
Pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Gli hanno sparato con il super liquidator. Cos'era quel
Close.
suono?
I owe you, Sigewin. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Le pistoline, non ci credo.
May look like a toy. It's
È
actually
Galgan.
functional, as I just demonstrated.
È diventato Galgan sto gioco, va bene. Quindi anche tu sei una complice.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is my duty.
Ok, dimmi di
When
più.
Monsieur Nervulet asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. I am merely discharging my duties. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us?
Sì,
I
esatto.
really am just doing what Monsieur Nerville told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits right now. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
È tipo una roba alla
My dear
Dobby
Siegewien, whatever shall I do?
che cerca di spaccare le ossa a Harry Potter per non farlo finire in situazioni peggiori.
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense
Beh
into
sì, ha
you.
cercato di fermarlo perché altrimenti sarebbe stato massacrato.
What time?
Take me if you want. Let them go.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Tanto c'è
Don't feel like that, Your Grace.
c'è Freminet che sta
All right,
morendo perché
everyone,
non ha più
calm
aria.
down. 2 more visitors will be arriving any time now.
Ok, stava scherzando, non
I'll go get a
sono...
cup of tea. Miss Siegewien, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You... What are you doing?
O forse no?
I believe I hear footsteps.
Attenzione. So a familiar figure bursts into the room. A child. Oh, non a child, è Chlorinde.
Ah, Miss Clorinde.
Ah, ok.
My door.
Ok.
Freminet.
Freminet è salvo.
Freminet.
What's going on? What is Clorinde doing here?
Sì, che cazzo ci fa Chlorinde qui?
Work.
Vabbè, grazie.
Sorry about
Grazie,
you,
Chlorinde.
Mr. Linney.
Ora sì che ho capito, eh.
The effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Freminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like this?
Che succede? Che sintomi sono? Non capisco.
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must
Oh,
have consumed
fuck.
primordial seawater.
What?
What did you say?
Please,
Emma?
make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Freminet a more thorough checkup. Your Grace, I'll leave the rest to you.
I'll talk to Clorinde while you get Freminet to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
Ma com'è la situazione qua con Freminet? Com'è fatta a ingerire della primordial water, scusami? Spirit looks like he'd rather not have Siegewien touch me. I see he didn't stop her since love is Freminet doesn't require... Ok, sì, per forza. Siegewien examining Freminet carefully, she does look upset, which is a good sign of Freminet will be okay. Sì, ma Siegewien sembra super tranquilla. Cioè fa quello che deve per aiutare tutti.
How is he?
Quindi è davvero una carina.
These symptoms are probably
È una
caused
dolcina.
by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater.
La Madonna.
Still, his condition is not critical.
Ma lui non è di
Of course,
Fontaine?
it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now and move him to the infirmary once he's recovered a bit more.
Ok, forse non è...
I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have a single clinic in the fortress, however.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress? How could that possibly happen?
Please, look after Mr. Freminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator. Oh, I'll bring Miss Lynette back with me.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she
Sarà
just
bene.
took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snacks and tea for her.
Let's figure out the stop chasing the monster. Ok, sì. Cioè, si sta calmando un attimino finalmente. Ok, quindi loro sono a posto. E qui? Com'è la
What's that look on
situazione?
your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Siegewien may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time, well, you can see how that boy's doing.
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons. Never seems to work, though.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all terrible.
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Sì. Vabbè. Tè. Caffettino.
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to dry my hair.
Perfetto. E quindi...
Winnie, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now. Don't worry about me.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
Comprensibile,
That's probably just the residual effects of the tranquilizer shot.
Vedi tu.
I'm back, everyone.
Ciao, Sigewin. E guarda che c'è.
Winnie! Oh, Traveler, Paimon, you're here too.
Ebbene sì.
Remine? Is he...
He'll be fine. But for now, please help me lift him up.
Vabbè, ok. Si è risvegliato. Salve. Sviene di nuovo. Cristo.
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side. Lynette, together?
On it.
Dai.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
Va bene, facciamolo. Andiamo a vedere. No, più che altro volevo parlare con Ridersley. Però immagino che non sia fattibile dato che sono spariti.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Claran will need a break, since she only just returned from rescuing Fremine out of the sea.
Vabbè. Clearance from the sea, just what happened there? Infatti vorrei capire perché ha dovuto andare a salvarlo. Non poteva semplicemente riaprire il bocchettone? Forse aveva paura che la Primordial Water... Oh, boh. Immagino che ce lo spiegheranno a breve. Veloce. Speedrun strat, troppo forte. Mi chiedo come siano le speedrun di Genshin Impact. Forse non esistono le speedrun di Genshin Impact perché ancora la storia non è finita, quindi non c'è un vero finale. Però vabbè, potrebbero crearla tipo alla conclusione del capitolo 1, cioè di Mondstadt. Saranno lunghissime però perché non puoi skippare i dialoghi. Cioè non puoi skippare l'intera cutscene di dialogo. Puoi solo spremere così F velocissimo.
Lynette.
Eccoci.
We're all here.
The infirmary.
Oops.
At the
Errore
Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And you are no longer in any danger.
Brava, Sigewin.
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not feeling up to it.
Traveler. Paimon.
Siamo proprio noi.
It's been so long. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Eccolo là. Ha fatto la cazzata.
It's okay. We can talk about it after you've recovered.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it.
Racconta, che è successo?
Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now.
I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be?
Beh, di sicuro non sopra. Mi fai giocare questa parte? Ok. Oddio, non mi ricordo come si gioca a farmi niente. Vabbè, immagino che non sarà comunque troppo difficile. Con la The Bell? Che arma c'ha? Royal Great Sword. Non l'ho mai visto. Minchia! Ah, Critical Hit Removal Stacks. Ah, ok. Noblesse Oblige, va bene. Talenti 11, 8, 8, va bene. Quindi è tipo C4? C3. Va bene.
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Se non lui chi? Bonk. Che noia però non avere il team da movimento. Sono lentissimo così. Ah, devo fare tipo tutto il puzzle per... Vabbè, non credo che sarà così difficile, mi basterà premere le cose in ordine, occhio e croce.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
Ah, ok, semplicemente lo sbatto giù. Giusto? Lo sbatto giù, lo ruoto sotto e poi lo faccio risalire qui. Ok, forse servirà un po' più di impegno di quanto immaginassi. Già. Beh, non così tanto in più, però un minimo in più. Door of Resurrection. Ah sì? Ah sì? Ah sì, a quanto pare sì. Ah, ma non si combatte? Ho convinto di sì.
Okay.
Vai.
Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well.
Dai, palombaro.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should... There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
Sarebbe stato carino se lui fosse stato tipo un vero palombaro sott'acqua, cioè se gli fosse cambiato proprio il modello con la tuta e il casco da palombaro.
Wait, what the... My heart is racing.
Ah, lui proprio respira sott'acqua.
What's going on?
Ok. Respira sott'acqua?
No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
E invece... Ah merda, sono avvelenato. Che strano effetto, non l'ho mai visto prima. Oh shit, sto crepando forte. Vabbè, però dovrei comunque riuscirci, siamo... ok.
I can't die here. This is bad. I'm feeling worse and worse, and I'm still underwater. I have to push on.
Fortuna che c'era Clorind. Ma Clorind come ha fatto a resistere all'acqua? Lei non è di Fontaine? Mi sembra strano, considerando che è la seconda in comando dell'Archon.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Già.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
L'avrà
You're still too weak
chiamato
for Monet.
Ridersley,
You
no?
can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
Certo.
You
Certo.
should ask his
Questo
Grace
però non
about that.
spiega.
He'll be able to explain better than me.
Questo però non spiega il perché loro sapessero di Freminet in pericolo, no?
Yeah.
Cioè come facevano a sapere
She told us what's going on. Wanna come with us?
dell'acqua avvelenata?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Va bene.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
Understood. Then let's just sit together for a while.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't think you'll be disturbed.
Thank you.
Ok, andiamo a vedere un po' cosa hanno da dirci. Sono davvero molto curioso perché per quanto abbiamo bene o male capito almeno a grandi linee cosa è successo, abbiamo ancora alcuni punti di domanda da spiegare. E vorrei davvero sapere che cazzo sta succedendo qui in giro. È successo tutto il contrario di tutto nel giro di mezz'ora? 40 minuti? Andiamo a parlare con Ridersley e vediamo che ci dice lui. Che bella Sayu quando corre, fa riderissimo così.
Excuse me.
Bellina che sei, Sigrid.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Sigewin?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Ciao, Clorind.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Sì, credo che sia arrivato il momento, signorino.
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten?
Ecco, forse ci dovresti illuminare quanto
Where
vuoi.
should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Perfetto.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
Ok.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals.
Perché guardi me? Perché non li hai fermati?
Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance.
Comprensibile, certo.
I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went.
Ok, quindi tu non lo
So I
sai.
figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
Quindi tu non lo sai.
We're hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you.
Che ha senso in
You
realtà.
make it sound
Ha
like
molto
that's a bad
senso.
thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremine has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming entangled in more irksome matters.
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Ma è davvero questo che vuoi chiedere, Paimon? Abbiamo altre domande, magari un po' più
Why would
importanti
you put it
prima.
like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of prison? I just happen to have some support from the rest of the inmates. That's all.
Ok.
Oh, right. Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clarant down here?
L'ha fatto lui.
Me, of course.
Certo.
I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
Certo.
You
Che
can
domanda.
think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as they were, he probably would have found the missing Harbinger already.
Quindi esiste davvero questa Forbidden Zone?
That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts.
Ma potrebbe essere
All I need to
inerente
prove to
alla
you
sua
is that the Forbidden
scomparsa,
Zone
no?
had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance.
Ok.
That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
Ok.
We've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case.
Già.
Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
E che ti costa, dai?
Paimon really wants to know.
Even if the truth may not be pleasant?
Dai, racconta.
Follow me.
Andiamo. Dove dobbiamo andare? Dove stiamo andando, mo? Follow Redsley, più giù. Sì, dobbiamo uscire dalla porta, immagino. Ecco, sta cosa io non la sopporto di Genshin. Il fatto che, tipo, se sei all'interno di un edificio, se vai sulla mappa... Ok, è ancora dentro. Ok, sì, niente, sono scemo io. Pensavo di dover uscire, in realtà no.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of Meripede is.
In effetti.
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa!
Perché è tutto così desaturato qui? Once everyone has taken their position, the circular plate begins to slowly move forward, downwards.
So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special.
Quello è?
What a huge door!
Che cazzo è sto
There are
posto?
3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to
Isolation
assume you're going
gates?
to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Non necessariamente.
Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not to tell them.
Keep exploring. Oh. Oh oh oh. Piu, 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 piu. Che bellezza questa. Questa tecnica è spettacolare. Ma poi la cosa bellissima è che lo fa col ditino. Fa piu, 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 piu. Cioè che fa tipo piu, 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 piu.
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Perché sembra tutto così spaventoso? Cosa c'è qui dentro?
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Che cos'è quella roba nel mezzo?
Go on, have a look.
Sto guardando, però me lo devi dire che cos'è. It's really empty with nothing in here, which is quite strange in its own. There's also a device maktab.
I've been
Fammi
interested in
leggere!
what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the reading could be tracking?
L'ammontare di primordial water, vero?
Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. Unfortunately, our dashboard is tracking something less ordinary. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside, but the readings didn't change at all. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. I began to make a few preparations based on that hypothesis. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the readings represent the concentration of primordial seawater in the seawater nearby.
Troppo forte, troppo forte.
Concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the sea.
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily rising.
Sì, fondamentalmente primordial seawater sta... Oh merda! Ma questa cosa è terribile! Perché se entra nel mare vuol dire che automaticamente arriva sulle nuvole. No? Per il ciclo dell'acqua. E di conseguenza se arriva sulle nuvole vuol dire che farà sciogliere tutti quelli di Fontaine. No?
Yes, that's very likely.
Oh merda!
Forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and it's now very close to us. The indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea around us. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all.
Certo.
Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
Beh, non proprio nella span of the night, però più o meno siamo lì. Cioè, se inizia a piovere è un disastro.
Too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Cosa vuol dire
Who built
sluice?
this place anyway?
Chiusa? Ah, chiusa inteso tipo la diga? Un canale, ok. È tipo una diga, va bene. Claro.
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find the actual answer may be exceedingly boring.
Ovvero?
It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research.
Oh.
There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us by the people who used to live here. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle, and the bone-chilling cold. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, "You may go guard my secret, deep underneath the waves." And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps, and over the years helped it to grow. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's only home. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed themselves. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld.
Okay.
Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontainian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd made it all up.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Abbastanza, sì.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, then everyone will be dissolved into the sea.
Credi nelle profezie?
To be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this
Infatti,
prophecy from proving all too
che tu ci
accurate.
credo meno sta succedendo davvero,
Prophecies are
quindi.
troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing signs of it will bring about the second, and actually witnessing it in real time, the third.
E quindi qual è il piano, mo?
Let's go somewhere else. I want to show you something.
Vai. Mostrami tutto. Io vorrei proprio capire quanto manca. Ah, ok, quindi loro sanno tutto.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh? Lorvine and Jurier?
Ecco perché parlavano di tempo.
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
Ah, sì?
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
Vabbè, ma io sono una persona speciale.
Are you sure they are trustworthy?
Ehi, faccia di cazzo.
The results
Cosa...
speak for themselves, don't they?
Come schiaffi?
These two may already know more than you could ever imagine.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Okay.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin?
Who?
He's the one who blew the whole institute sky high. Everyone knew he was a bit crooked in the head, but you're not local, so I guess it's possible for you not to have heard of him.
Non so chi sia.
Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him to be my technical consultant.
You want to blow up the fortress of Meripede?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, I'm tempted as well.
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's assistant, she used to be Jurier's assistant.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a convenient cover?
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
Certo, certo.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Va bene. Due
Forget I said
zudere.
anything then. Follow me.
Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
È una stanza normale?
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
A rapture?
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
Poco?
Not much at all.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation above the surging waves. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships.
In
People
effetti.
believe that hope can always be found at the end of a voyage.
Do you believe that too?
Più o meno.
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try.
Ah, lui sta costruendo questa
I began to
nave.
speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
È una sorta di Arca di Noè.
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to cope with the impending disaster.
Sì, infatti, perché non ne parli con qualcun altro di
Were
questa
the
cosa?
workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than
Ah,
any
tu hai paura che
catastrophe.
si facciano prendere dal
As the
panico per la
fortress's
rivelazione.
administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. All right, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea to soothe my throat. Do you have any other questions? Seems
Penso di
like
no.
you're good. Come on, I'll take you back.
Quindi le cose stanno così, ma ancora non sappiamo che cazzo è successo a Child.
I'll leave you here for now.
Sì?
Oh, thank you so much.
Grazie, sì.
No worries.
Ci hai detto un
But
sacco
don't
di
forget,
robe.
it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here on out will likely affect those 3 as well.
Means the main action I will say the next step Lane's group takes. In other words, if I want to tell Lane the truth, I must make him understand we cannot afford excessive conflict right now.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Grazie.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Dai. Ok, vorrei capire quanto manca a questo punto però della quest. Contain Conquest Act 4, siamo all'Act 4. Ok, sì, siamo all'atto 4. Qua è dove stavamo parlando ancora prima. Qui ci sta facendo... No, minchia, manca ancora un'oretta, tipo. Sì. Sì, manca ancora un'oretta. Va bene. Allora proseguiamo la prossima volta. Sì, chiudiamo qua. Direi che per stasera basta così. Abbiamo fatto un paio d'ore. Va bene così. Mi sto tormentando fortissimo. Va bene, partenza molto lenta, però figa se nella seconda metà è ripartito alla grande. L'infermiera che sembra cattiva, cioè a un certo punto io ho genuinamente pensato che fossero tutti dei pezzi di merda. E Ridersley un po' lo è. Un po' lo è. Perché non c'era assolutamente bisogno di fare tutta quella manfrina su Lynette e Fremine in pericolo di vita per fregare Lini. Secondo me però ci stava, è stato molto divertente anche la parte del trovare le risposte alle sue domande, perché erano cazzatine, però erano effettivamente cose che io ancora non avevo inquadrato, manco per sbaglio. Quindi ci stava. Mi è piaciuta quella parte, mi è piaciuta ancora di più la parte successiva in cui effettivamente c'erano così tante domande alla quale però abbiamo quasi subito trovato risposta, no? Cioè, cosa ci faceva Candice? Non si chiama Candice, si chiama Cannella, non mi ricordo. Vabbè, cosa ci faceva la tipa Electro lì sotto? Sono davvero cattivi? Fremine che fine ha fatto? Lynette che fine ha fatto? Stanno bene? Lainey che fine farà? Perché stanno facendo tutto questo? No? Avevamo un sacco di domande e subito ci ha dato le risposte. Questa cosa mi è piaciuta davvero un sacco, perché effettivamente rimaniamo ancora alcuni punti di domanda, nello specifico dove sta Child, cosa faranno Linney e il suo gruppo, e soprattutto tutta la parte di New Villette che si è vista nel trailer di presentazione della nuova patch, perché New Villette in teoria dovrebbe essere un personaggio abbastanza centrale dei prossimi avvenimenti nell'Archon Quest di Fontaine, ma per ora si è visto poco e niente di lui nella nuova patch, quindi ecco, quella parte manca ancora. Child probabilmente scopriremmo la sua fine fra ancora un po', immagino, non credo che lo scopriremo al termine di questa parte dell'Archon Quest, della nuova patch. Minimo dovremo aspettare la patch successiva, mi aspetto. Dubito seriamente che in un'oretta riusciremo a scoprire che fine abbia fatto. O meglio, magari che fine abbia fatto, sì, ritrovarlo, dubito molto. Però devo dire che ci stava alla grande. Anche se c'è stato un inizio un po' lento, anche se ci sono ancora zero combattimenti praticamente in quest'Archon Quest. Devo dire che tutto sommato l'assenza di combattimenti non si sta facendo sentire come avrei temuto. Per ora andiamo relativamente bene, anche se comunque ci sono un paio di parti un po' lunghette, tipo appunto la prima parte di questa sera, che mi hanno lasciato un po' con l'amaro in bocca, ma per il resto stiamo andando avanti abbastanza bene. Devo dire che sono cresciuti parecchio quelli di Genshin, eh. Non siamo più alla parte di Liyue? Sì, Liyue iniziale in cui c'era una parlantina infinita di cose inutili e super noiose senza interazioni da parte del giocatore. Adesso devo dire che anche se non ci sono combattimenti, comunque riescono a mantenere un pacing sia con i vari minigiochi, quindi in questo caso quello del ricollegare i vari indizi per costruire la verità, sia con i vari dialoghi e con gli avvenimenti, riescono comunque a gestire il tutto abbastanza bene, devo dire. Buona, detto questo, io vi saluto, un bacione a tutti, ci becchiamo probabilmente non domani ma venerdì sera per proseguire e probabilmente finire questa nuova parte dell'Archon Quest. Statevi bene, un bacione a tutti, buonanotte, ciao belli.